Hello everybody and welcome back to Elderberry Sprout. So today we're not in my craft studio, we are in my office area. So I've got this lovely new desk and slightly different lighting than usual. So today what I wanted to do is share with you this new notebook that I made out of scrap leather. I originally got the idea for this kind of like pocket plus sized notebook from Seaweed Kisses because it's going to house a jotter. That's its main purpose. So let me show you the notebook itself and talk a little bit about it. So this notebook I made out of pretty thick leather that I got secondhand from a craft store that sells secondhand things. I talk about it all the time. It's called Art Salvage. It's really amazing, and local craftspeople can go there to get used craft materials, and also companies in the area can donate their scraps. So I'm pretty sure that this is leather that was intended for making boots. It's like really thick, nice leather. And the piece that I got wasn't quite big enough, so I did add some corset stitching here with some other leather details to kind of add some style and make it the right size. So I'm really loving this journal so far. I love the detail and how it turned out. So like I said, I used a corset stitch here to get these pieces of leather butted up together. And then from the stitching there, you can probably see that there is a pocket in the back. So let's flip this on over. So there is a pocket in the back. I kind of added this little detail here, and this was originally a piece of leather from a wallet that I had gotten secondhand. It was like 25 cents or something, so I got this really nice piece of leather. It's much thinner than the front because it just needs to be a pocket. So let's see, the other bit of leather. This leather, it's kind of funny. This corner that I added on is a thinner leather, so it's not quite as thick as this black leather, but it doesn't really matter because the way that this stitch worked out, it just stays abutted. And I think it's kind of a fun detail because it's actually the same leather as my normal traveler's notebook is. So it's kind of like joins them together in style in a little bit. Anyway, so let's hop in here and see what I've got. So I made this little folder just out of some craft paper. I'm really loving this one. It's like this gold metallic craft paper and it's super sturdy. And I added staples here to keep it closed and then washi on top of them. And this is just to store scrap paper that I can give people information on, you know. So essentially to get rid of it. And I decorated this pocket with some stamps. I have this pen loop clamped on the side with a tiny little pen clip, or tiny little binder clip, and it's been working pretty well. I'm kind of surprised that it's not like too loose, but this is pretty thick card, so it's holding on there pretty well. I might end up stitching this on at some point if it does come loose, but it hasn't so far, so that's the important thing. And I do carry with me a normal pen. I think this is like a Pilot. What is it? Oh no, this is a Zebra Z-Grip. I don't particularly care for any pens that aren't fountain pens, but this one works, I suppose, and it was in my collection anyway, so I'm using that up here. And that's because when I'm out and about, I don't necessarily want to use a fountain pen and take the lid off and make sure it's, you know, not jammed or anything. But anyway, so this notebook does have these aren't elastics, they're just strings, but I have one elastic joiner that I looped these two onto on the first one. And that gives enough room for these big rings on this jotter here. I decorated this with some craft paper decorations, which turned out really amazing. I'm kind of surprised. It looks so pretty, I feel like it's not mine almost. But it's because I have some craft paper for the first time in forever, and I'm actually using it on myself. I'm not like using it for other things, so it's kind of nice to have something beautiful. And then I also made this little signature out of some craft paper. I did a different color for the spine and added these little details of some washi tape and some craft paper there. And the paper inside this little, I guess kind of cream colored paper is from the back of a notebook or back of an old bullet journal. So I just ripped it out, folded it in half. Oh, coming to the fact that this is not a traditional, it's not a traditional like pocket-sized notebook. I got this journal originally, and it's a little bit wider than the traditional 3.5 inches that a pocket size would be. I think it's, yeah, it's 4 inches. So, and with the spiral ring, it's about 4.5 inches. So after doing the math and realizing that I want to make my own signatures for this, I realized that if you fold a piece of paper in quarters, that's essentially what this is. So I made the notebook 6 inches tall, and I think it's, let's see how wide it is. And it's about 10 inches wide. So it's like a pocket plus size, but the way that I have it filled, not like super bulked up. I'm allowed to have these like quarter-sized sheets in here. I don't have to trim an extra 1/2 inch or inch off the sides to make it a traditional pocket-sized signature. So that might be why you're noticing it looks a little bit fatter and squatter than every other one out there. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to put in here. I just got a gym membership, so maybe I'll start tracking my gym workouts in here, because I won't want to bring my big journal for that. Just probably a tiny one would be more useful. And anyway, here is the the reason I created this journal in the first place is this little jotter section. So I do have a paper clip here just to hold me on the page that I'm on. And I decorated the front with a couple of stamps that matched the design. And I was surprised to find this at the dollar store with a beautiful floral design. So I was happy to find that. The paper is a little bit thin. It's not super, let's see, I think I did a test of it. Yeah, you can see there's a little bit of ghosting here. And if you leave your pen too long, it will have some bleed through, which I'm okay with because, like I said, I'm using a normal pen, not a fountain pen. But the paper, it's interesting. It has kind of like a bluishy purple hue, I feel like. It's not quite cream or white. Let's see if I can get a white piece of paper to show you. So this is a white piece of paper, and you can see that it's definitely got like a coldish purpley hue to it. But I don't really mind. It's still functional, and that's the important part for this. So I'm planning on using this for work mainly, and when I'm going out and about and doing lists, so those will all live in there. I'm very excited to experiment with this some more and see what else ends up living in here. Yeah, I just wanted to share this new expedition with you guys because it's new for me. And once again, this is kind of inspired by Seaweed Kisses because she uses a jotter like that I think she gets from like Walmart or something. And I realized that it solved a problem for me having a huge notebook all the time. So this is a nice little compact thing that I can write all my stuff in, and then whatever I need to migrate into my normal notebook, I can. Anyway, I hope you guys found this valuable, or interesting at least, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye!